show about the Master Key Experience, and you're gonna love it!
Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us. Could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm Stephanie, and I am from the Dallas, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area, metropolitan area in Texas, USA. I've got a little dog around here, Redmond, and he usually likes to be in the middle of stuff, but I'm glad you guys are doing this.
Thanks. What is the Master Key Experience?
The Master Key Experience, to me, is just that, an experience. I think that all of us, every individual is going through a journey called life, and and everybody experiences different experiences, and so the MKE is not one thing. It's different for everybody. What it did for me is it helped me come in tune and get to know my authentic self and discover who I am as an individual and guide me through different parts of my life.
What was the main reason you did the Master Key Experience?
About 7 years ago, I had come down with an illness, a sickness, that actually they say came from a mosquito, West Nile virus and viral meningitis. And through that recovery, I realized that I had this little voice inside of me that kept telling me to move forward and heading me in this direction to figure out who I am as an individual. And fast forward a few years down the road, I'd gotten to a point where I'd quit my job and decided to take a different direction, and not knowing what that would lead to, that decision actually, I came in contact with Mark and the Master Key. Didn't know what it was, but knew there was something inside me that said do it. There's something in there that I wanted. And so the hardships or whatever was going on the last 7 years has led me to this point, and it's been an incredible experience.
What did the Master Key Experience do for you?
It helped me realize that there is one thing in life that we have control over. There's only one thing, and that is us, or each individual self. And with that, the only thing we can actually control is our thoughts. And I had heard that, didn't know what it really meant, but once I had an understanding, a true deep understanding of I'm the only one that could manage my own thoughts, and that's what created my life. It was like worlds opened up for me. Everything else in this world, whatever's going on, we have no control over anything but what we think. And with that, that's when we can change whatever we need to change or whatever we want to do. We have choice with it, is what I realized. Because I would say, I mean, we hear it all the time. You can make your own choices, you can think what you want to think, but doing it are two different things. And I'd say the knowing, I mean, there's a knowing on the intellectual level, and there's a knowing almost like at the molecular level, like the core fiber of our beings. And I began to realize that thoughts are habits, and started to look at different habits. And when I realized that habit is the basis of everything that we do, and we know how difficult it is to change habits, it's hard to explain on that level of knowing, but it's almost like my whole life and the way of life shifted. And now it's kind of like with thoughts, it's like I'm able to step back from a situation and look at it and go, I could go here or I could go here, and really almost see how one decision could play out if I went that direction, or vice versa. Being the observer is very powerful. It's extremely powerful. And it almost, to me, is like I literally step back and I see myself and I see whoever's involved, but I can see it on a different level, and just kind of can see how the communication may go, may not go, and then just being okay with whatever it is. It's not easy. It takes a lot of practice. It's not easy.
It does. It takes work,
Yeah,
especially in the world we live in
exactly.
with the negativity bias and
Oh, it's unbelievable. And that's a big thing that I noticed, I'd say about halfway through the course with me, is that I noticed that my thoughts were not going down that negative path. I wasn't waking up with the negative thoughts that I used to in the mornings. And that I really had a choice to go, you know what? No, we're not going there. We're going to go this direction.
Before the MKE, would you say you were happy for it?
I would say that I thought I was happy. Probably looking from the outside in, people would say, oh, you're happy, you know, you've got this going for you, you got this nice house, this or that. But deep down inside, now I know, no, I wasn't happy. And that's what I would say going through the MKE has, what I've become more aware of is where the happiness comes from, how to create the happiness, and that it's really not in the material things like I thought it was before.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Number 1, what color are you in the color code?
I am a blue.
Deadly.
The second one is, was there a special moment of personal change in the Master Key experience that really stood out for you?
Yes. So it wasn't necessarily a moment of aha, or I manifested something right away. It was like what I realized looking at it now, it was halfway through the course. And while it wasn't a quick, oh, this has happened, the turn of events that have happened the last 3 or 4 months, I've realized it was a huge moment for me. About halfway through the course, I would start hearing people say, oh, I'm feeling happier and this and that, and they're starting to see things happen. And that wasn't what I experienced, but what I experienced was a shift take place inside me with what I was talking about with the thought processes. And I didn't know if I was happier. I just knew I didn't have all that negativity going on. It was just kind of dissipating. And what I didn't realize at that moment, that it literally was worlds opening up, and the things that had happened a few months later down the road, I had something significant happen that came from that basically I had mentioned I had gotten sick 7 years ago and still was battling stuff really up until I'd say January is when everything changed. And in March, I came in contact with a new technology or whatever that has really transformed my health. And so all that came from this moment back in January through the Master Keys, through one of the one of the exercises we were doing that totally shifted everything. And so I guess all that said, it didn't happen at that moment, but now 4 or 5 months down the road, looking at it, there was definitely something that took place that stuck with me. I had this virus actually 7 years ago, and it was like almost died. It was awful. But through the recovery, I never could really recover. Just with flare-ups, it just kept going. And I kept hearing people say, well, it's all about, you can heal yourself with your thoughts. And I never understood what that was until the Master Key. And so that goes back into the whole, how powerful the thoughts are and how that's the only thing we can control. But it took the Master Key, because I kept asking myself, how am I going to do this? It was almost like the Master Key is the how. is, we don't have to really know how things happen, but it is that step-by-step process that can get you over the hump or whatever it may be.
Yeah. So that's a fair journey that you went through, 7 years of illness.
Yeah.
And then you came, and then you, as you said, you'd heard about the power of your thoughts, and you believe that now?
Oh, incredible. Yes, absolutely. I'm a different person since before the Master Key. I mean, completely different. And while I guess we talk about true health and stuff, that's not necessarily my focus, but this was a piece that I had to get through to get, I guess, to figure out what I'm here to do. It's just been an amazing experience. And actually going through the whole course, even when the course ended, I was just kind of like, okay, this is good stuff, but I never really felt that big transformation until I started reflecting on it after the course and seeing how things are turning out and how I feel today physically and mentally. I'm just like, this is life-changing. This is incredible.
So lots of subtle little changes along the way.
Yes. Yes.
Have you done any other self-help courses before the Master Key experience?
I have. I've done quite a few. And that's probably why one of the reasons why I knew that thoughts could change how you feel. However, I wouldn't necessarily classify this as a self-help. And this is just, it's one of the reasons it's hard to explain what it is because you can't explain it. I mean, there is nothing like it out there. But what it does is it truly, you just kind of wade through the stuff that we think that matters. I guess you could call it the cement, knock it off, and then you really discover who you are as an individual, that beautiful, authentic self that we all are. And most self-help courses lead you to that, but they don't tell you how, what the steps are. And they're definitely not there to guide you through the process that the MKE takes you through.
Did you get help during the course to achieve what you wanted to achieve?
Yes, I did. I had a great guide through this. And basically, I mean, they were there, guides, Mark Davine. I mean, everybody was there at the time that maybe something's needed. It is literally, it is a hands-on. When they say it's a hands-on, I mean, people, and it's not just one or two, it's kind of like everybody kind of comes together, and whatever process you're working through, they're there. Whether it's with the DMPs or the, just different habits and even scheduling, time management and things like that. I mean, everybody's there. You're not left alone, that's for sure.
And our challenges along the way.
What challenges I had?
No, I'm saying with any help, we get help with the challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. Because they're going to be there. They're, if they weren't there, we wouldn't need anything like this. But even going through this, I'm realizing that challenges are opportunities. There's a new opportunity on the other side of whatever somebody's going through.
Was the course good value?
Good value. There is not a value you could stamp on this. I'd say it's priceless. I would still probably pay any amount of money it was or is.
What else would you like to add about the Master Key experience?
That if anybody comes across this and there's just a small piece of them wanting to take it, I would say follow that. That is that, I call it an internal voice that is very faint. Sometimes we hear it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes it slaps us in the face. But if there's, like a small percentage of somebody looking at any of this, I would say go for it. And some, you know, if you say it's not the right time, there's never a perfect time for anything. But I would definitely, and you know, I think about the whole course and I'm like, you know, if somebody took 10% of the information that we learned and applied it, their lives would change.
I am the king of the sand pit. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. See ya. Bye.